Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Mahārāja's message is your advantage. The following is a question and answer session given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Mahārāja on March 23rd, 2022 in Damodar Desh.
The reservoir of ultimate truth and absolute knowledge. Purport. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that the absolute truth is understood in three phases of realization: the impersonal Brahman, the localized Paramatma, and ultimately the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The impersonal Brahman and localized Paramatma are expansions of the potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is complete in six opulences, namely wealth, fame, strength, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. Since he possesses his six opulences, the personality of Godhead is the ultimate truth in absolute knowledge. It is explained that how the personality of Godhead is the ultimate Parabrahman. And in the Bhagavatam, it is also confirmed. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaneti, Shabdyate. So, by taking the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one achieves all success. Next. Caitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 7.139.
স্বরূপ ঐশ্বর্যে তার নাহি মায়া গন্ধ, সকল বেদের হয় ভগবান সে সম্বন্ধ।
In his original form, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is full with transcendental opulences, which are free from the contamination of the material world. It is to be understood that in all Vedic literature, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate goal. Caitanya Charitamrita.
Mayapur sannyasis are thinking the impersonal Brahman is all in all.
The Mayavadi sannyasis are thinking that the impersonal Brahman is the ultimate goal.
Kṛṣṇa is the supreme personality and is original form.
But Kṛṣṇa is the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his original form.
And he is the ultimate goal.
And he is the ultimate goal. Caitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 7.140.
তারে নির্বিশেষ কহি চিৎ শক্তি না মানি, অর্ধ স্বরূপ না মানিলে পূর্ণতা হয় হানি।
When we speak of the Supreme as impersonal, we deny his spiritual potencies. Logically, if you accept half of the truth, you cannot understand the whole. Purport. In the Upanishads, it is said, Om Purnamada Purnam Idam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam Eva Vasishyate. This verse, which is mentioned in the Isha Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad and many other Upanishads indicates that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is full in 6 opulences. His position is unique, for he possesses all riches, strength, beauty, influence, knowledge and renunciation. Brahman means the greatest, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead is greater than the greatest, just as the sun glow is greater than the sunshine, which is all pervading in the universe. Although the sunshine that spreads all over the universes appears very great to the less knowledgeable, greater than the sunshine is the sun itself, and greater than the sun is the sun god. Similarly, impersonal Brahman is not the greatest, although it appears to be so. Impersonal Brahman is only the bodily effulgence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but the transcendental form of the Lord is greater than both the impersonal Brahman and localized Paramatma. Therefore, whenever the word Brahman is used in the Vedic literature, it is understood to refer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord is also addressed as Parabrahman. Mayavadis and others sometimes misunderstand Brahman because every living entity is also Brahman. Therefore, Kṛṣṇa is referred to as Parabrahman, the Supreme Brahman. In the Vedic literature, whenever the words Brahman or Parabrahman are used, they are to be understood to refer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kṛṣṇa. This is the real meaning. Since the entire Vedic literature deals with the subject of Brahman, Kṛṣṇa is therefore the ultimate goal of Vedic understanding. The impersonal Brahma-Jyoti rests on the personal form of the Lord. Therefore, although the impersonal effulgence, the Brahma-Jyoti is the first realization one must enter into it. As mentioned in the Isho Upanishad, to find the Supreme Person and then one's knowledge is perfect. The Bhagavad Gita also confirms this. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate. One's search for the absolute truth by dint of speculative knowledge is complete when one comes to the point of understanding Kṛṣṇa and surrenders unto him. That is the real point of perfectional knowledge. Partial realization of the absolute truth is as impersonal Brahman denies the complete opulences of the Lord. This is a hazardous understanding of the absolute truth. Unless one accepts all the features of the absolute truth, namely impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, and ultimately the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one's knowledge is imperfect. Sripad Ramanujacharya in his Vedānta-Sūtra says, Jnanena dharmena swarupam api nirupitam na tu jnana matram brahmeti katham idam avagamyate. He thus indicates that the real identity of the absolute truth must be understood in terms of both his knowledge and his characteristics. Simply to understand the absolute truth, to be full of knowledge is not sufficient. In the Vedic literature, Mundaka Upanishad 1.1.9, we find the statement Ya Sarva Jnana Sarvavid, which means that the absolute truth knows everything perfectly. But we also learn from the Vedic description Parasa Shaktir Vividhaiva Suyate, that not only does he know everything, but he also acts accordingly by utilizing his different energies. Thus, to understand that Brahman, the Supreme, is conscious is not sufficient. One must know how he consciously acts through his different energies. Mayavada philosophy simply informs us of the consciousness of the absolute truth, but does not give us information of how he acts with his consciousness. That is the defect of that philosophy.
So, Lord Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Personality of Brahma, acts according to his knowledge.
So, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Parabrahma, acts according to his knowledge.
Therefore, he has full knowledge, and acts according to full knowledge.
And therefore, he even has full knowledge and acts according to full knowledge.
So, in this way, awaken the natural love of the Supreme Personality by associating and serving Him.
So, in this way, we can awaken the natural love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead by associating and serving him. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 7.141
2. শ্রবণাদি সাধন ভক্তি উপায় বা অভিধান ভগবান প্রাপ্তি হেতু যে করি উপায় শ্রবণাদি ভক্তি কৃষ্ণ প্রাপ্তির সহায়.
Translation. It is only by devotional service, beginning with hearing, that one can approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the only means to approach him. Purport. Mayavadi philosophers are satisfied simply to understand Brahman to be the sum total of knowledge. But Vaishnava philosophers not only know in detail about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but also know how to approach him directly. The method for this is described by Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu as 9 kinds of devotional service, beginning with hearing. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakhyam Atmanivedanam. Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.23. The 9 kinds of devotional service are hearing about Krishna, chanting about him, remembering him, offering service to his lotus feet, offering him worship in the temple, offering prayers to him, working as his servant, making friendship with him, and unreservedly surrendering to him. One can directly approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead simply by executing these 9 kinds of devotional service, of which hearing about the Lord is the most important, Shravanadi. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has very favorably stressed the importance of this process of hearing. According to his method, if people are simply given a chance to hear about Krishna, certainly they will gradually develop their dormant awareness or the love of Godhead. Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karaye Udaya. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.107. Love of Godhead, love of God is dormant in everyone. And if one is given a chance to hear about the Lord, certainly that love develops. Our Krishna consciousness movement acts on this principle. We simply give people the chance to hear about the Supreme Personality of Godhead and give them prasadam to eat. And the actual result is that all over the world, people are responding to this process and becoming pure devotees of Lord Krishna. We have opened hundreds of centers all over the world just to give people in general a chance to hear about Krishna and accept Krishna's prasadam. These 2 processes can be accepted by anyone, even a child. It doesn't matter whether one is poor or rich, learned or foolish, black or white, old or still a child. Anyone who simply hears about the Supreme Personality of Godhead and takes prasadam is certainly elevated to the transcendental position of devotional service.
Lord Chaitanya gave a system of Keva Ananda Bhanda, simply blissful.
So, Lord Chaitanya was Keval Ananda Kanda, simply blissful.
And the devotees chant all the name, take Krishna prasadam.
And that devotees chant the holy name and take Krishna prasadam.
This way, one naturally awaken I love Krishna.
So, in this way, one can naturally awaken the love for Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila 7.142.
সেই সর্ববেদের অবিদেয় নাম সাধন ভক্তি হইতে হয় প্রেমের উদ্গম।
By practicing this regulated devotional service under the direction of the spiritual master, certainly one awakens his dormant love of Godhead. This process is called Abhidheya. Purport: by the practice of devotional service, beginning with hearing and chanting, the impure heart of a conditioned soul is purified, and thus he can understand his eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That eternal relationship is described by Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Jivera Swarupahai Krishnera Nityadas. The living entity is an eternal servitor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When one is convinced about this relationship, which is called Sambandha, he then acts accordingly. That is called Abhidheya. The next step is Prayojana Siddhi, or fulfillment of the ultimate goal of one's life. If one can understand his relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and act accordingly, automatically his mission in life is fulfilled. The Mayavadi philosophers miss even the first stage in self-realization because they have no conception of God's being personal. He is the master of all, and he is the only person who can accept the service of all living entities. But since this knowledge is lacking in Mayavada philosophy, Mayavadis do not have knowledge even of their relationship with God. They wrongly think that everyone is God or that everyone is equal to God. Therefore, since the real position of the living entity is not clear to them, how can they advance further? Although they are very much puffed up at being liberated, Mayavadi philosophers very shortly fall down again to material activities due to their neglecting the lotus feet of the Lord. This is called Patanti Adha. Here it is said that persons who think themselves liberated but do not execute devotional service, not knowing their relationship with the Lord, are certainly misled. One must know his relationship with the Lord and act accordingly. Then the fulfillment of his life's mission will be possible.
So, how our relationship with Krishna, Sambandha.
So, we know our relationship with Krishna, Sambandha,
We are meant to serve him.
that we are meant to serve him.
And actually, that's the first step.
Then naturally that's the first step.
The Mayavadis think they are God or equal to God.
But the Mayavadis think that they are God or are equal to God,
Therefore, they don't serve the Supreme Personality.
and therefore they don't serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Swami, he said that he goes only let it.
Sanatan Goswami said that people call me a learned Pandit,
But I say I'm a fool.
but actually I am a fool.
Please tell me what my duty is.
Please tell me what my duty is.
I can tell you the duty is to serve Krishna.
So Lord Chaitanya told him that your duty is to serve Krishna.
Krishna, he does your body, he does your
Jivera Swarupa Hoy Niter Krishna Das.
This life, creating on activities, Krishna service, one achieves natural awakening of Krishna.
So in this way, by engaging in activities for the service of Krishna, one achieves the natural love for Krishna.
Not difficult. One has to be guided by one certain master and follow the system.
So this is not very difficult, but one has to be guided by the spiritual master and follow the system.
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.